comes Makamape. Everybody is quite muddy. Been lying down in the mud today, haven't you, Mama? Yes, you have. That's Mama's ask to scratch her belly, but we're not doing scratches right now, Mama. We're doing a live stream. Got Kalia on my left. Sione is the brown and white paint, and Zora is standing behind her. And then this is Makamape on the Barn Road. So, what was that? Oh, a woodpecker. I feel like the horses want me to talk about the experience I've just been through of being very down in the dumps. And I got sick for the first time in over a decade. Not because I physically needed to be sick, but because I was spiritually sick. And so the more integrated you become with your mind, body, and spirit, you cannot separate them. So while there was no reason for me to be physically ill, and if it had just been a physical thing, I could have prevented it or healed it within a few hours, which is what I normally do. But for this one, I just surrendered to the totality of the experience, because the physical illness was the mirror or reflection or embodiment of the spiritual energetic illness that I was also experiencing and feeling. And so I have been down for a good, oh my gosh, 10 days. It's a fart from Mama. And you know what? It's okay. It's okay for us to move into despair. It's okay for us. That's right, Kalia. That's right. That's right. And it's an important part of the Kali process. The process of destruction and rebirth requires a destruction. We can't spiritually bypass the burning, the destruction, the obliteration. We cannot spiritually bypass that just because we're evolved or light workers. It's an inextricable part of the 3D human experience on this planet. And so rather than seeing it as something bad, or, oh, I didn't keep my vibration high enough, I didn't keep my light high enough, I didn't meditate enough, how about we see it as part of the whole and as an important part of what we are here to experience and live in this dimension of existence. And that what comes out of the despair, what comes out of the depression, what comes out of the deep dive and the deep questioning, the deep despair, is clarity. If you stay with it, if you work in active surrender to the state, right? You don't say, oh, well, I'm depressed and I'm in a great deal of despair, so I'm just going to do whatever I can to make it go away. I'm going to take medications so I don't feel my feelings. I'm going to use drugs. I'm going to smoke weed every night so I can numb myself out, drink some alcohol. That's not active surrender. These states require active surrender. And they're active because you're not catatonic. You're not numbing yourself so that you're just existing. You are actively involved in your despair. You're actively involved in your depression. You're actively involved in the burning and destruction of your world, your thoughts, your paradigm, your value system, whatever it is that's burning. You're actively involved in that, but you're actively surrendered. So to see clearly is to surrender. Yes. And even when you can't see clearly, you surrender. Because when you're in despair and depression, you have no clarity. That's part of why it's such an uncomfortable and such a horrible state to be in, because you have no perspective. You have no clarity. You have no hope. And it's okay. It's okay. As you see Kalia here, you see how she is fully present but fully surrendered. She is sunk into this space. She is sunk into the energies of what we're discussing here. Big yawn and release from Macaw. So Macaw, when he steps forward, it's always a reminder to us about our ability to cross dimensions, or a reminder that we don't just exist in third dimension here. Where is our higher self? Where is our higher self living right now? Is our higher self in 3D? No, it's probably in 5D or 9D. It's in a different dimension. So we're not just here. We are multidimensional beings. And when our 3-dimensional iteration is having a really tough time, is depressed, is despairing, is being persecuted, is being tortured, it's okay. It simply is a part of what we incarnate here to experience. It's not something to be gotten away from. It's not something to immediately try to transform. It's that active surrender into that state. Again, Kalia reminding us the burning is necessary. The destruction is an integral part of the 3D destruction rebirth cycle. We cannot have the rebirth without having the destruction, without having the death. And our human selves, look around you for the last 40 years in particular. Every law that's been passed, every bylaw, every mandate has been about safety. God forbid we should die or suffer. Let's strip away all life, all adventure, all possibility, just so that we can hopefully be safe. And it's not that we're not going to die. We all know we're going to die, but this desperate desire to postpone death, like it was some horrible thing that it's a form of insanity is what we've been doing on this planet. We are going to die. We are all going to die. That is not the question. The question is, how much are we going to live while we're here? Whether we're here for 10 years or 30 years or 80 or 90 years, who cares? How much are we going to live? Really live. full all body, big powerful living like Big Mama here. Big Mama doesn't hold back. She's like, I'm huge and I'm magnificent and I do whatever I want because I am the full embodiment of life and vitality. And I own my strength and I own my autonomy. And so as each of us lives this stage of our incarnation, what parts are calling you to action and what parts are calling you to active surrender? There's a lot right now that's out of our control. Like literally, we physically cannot do anything against all of the vaccine mandates, mask mandates, freezing of our bank accounts, inability to travel, instituting the Emergencies Act, being arrested for no reason. There's a whole, having our cities bombed. There's a whole bunch of stuff right now that we cannot control or have any kind of physical level impact on. But what can we do with our energetic and our spiritual self in the realm of active surrender? So we appear to be surrendered. I will wear a mask because I'm asked to by the owner. I will not travel. I will not go into a restaurant because I refuse to get the vaccine because my body says no. So these are the things that I have to surrender to, but what can I do in that surrendered state that's active? Bruce Lee has a quote, I can't remember the exact quote, but it's something along the lines of patience is not a passive state. It is actually a concentrated force because you have not given up your will. You have not given up your desire. You have not given up your goals. You are just in a concentrated state of waiting, of active surrender for those things, for the time to come for those things. And when they do, you'll be ready to move into action very fast because you haven't given up. You haven't abandoned yourself or your goals or your vision. You are actively surrendered to what is, and you are holding this concentrated state of waiting, otherwise known as patience. And then when the time is right, boom, you will be able to move quickly and easily. And your energy in that state will be a vital part of creating the reality that humans want. Right now, it's like how many humans want this reality and are vibrating at this frequency, which is why what we have around us exists. So let's move. Okay, yeah, but yes, Sione, let's move to a whole other discussion beyond what we can do on the physical plane. How about being active on the energetic and spiritual planes to actively envision every day, maybe 3 times a day, what we want, the state, the reality, the conditions that we want in our world, our immediate world around us. Forget going global. Don't go too big. Then it becomes unreal and you can't imagine it with the kind of clarity and personal attachment that brings power to your visioning process. Keep it local. In your town, in your state, in your city, in your neighborhood, what do you want to see? What kind of life do you want to live? Imagine yourself going through a day. What's happening around you? And by using our imagination, we create frequency bands within the reality. And if enough of us are creating the same frequency set, guess what happens to reality? It shifts. It becomes the vibration that reflects the dominant vibration. And also, let's talk about dominance. Is dominance determined by sheer numbers? So if you have 10 people envisioning war and 7 people envisioning cooperation, does that mean that war is always going to win? No, because what if those 10 people envisioning war have a vibration on a scale of 1 to 10 that sits at a 2? Well, what's the power of that vibration? How powerful is the frequency that they're holding? Not very. And let's say the 7 people who are envisioning cooperation on a scale of 1 to 10 are sitting at a vibrational level of 8. Well, then it's not 7 versus 10, is it? You know, even though there's only 7, their vibration, their frequency is so much higher that they are actually the dominant force. We know from Albert Einstein that all matter is energy. If you take this barn wall and you look at it through a microscope, it is mostly energy with little specks of physical matter. And then when you examine those specks of physical matter and you go into them and you find molecules and atoms and electrons and photons, and then what do you find? You find a quark. And what is a quark? It's a bundle of vibrating energy. So even the most solid particle, if you look at it closer and closer and closer, turns into energy. And we get to choose where we put our energy. We get to choose what we envision. We get to choose what we imagine. And we don't need to talk about it. We don't need to blog about it, social media. We just need to do it in our own little corner of our own little world. Just actively imagine the world, the reality, not the world, the reality around you. Sione showing you what it's like to move energy right there. Out of nothing, boom, move it, change the reality, change the whole environment around you. And remember, those of you who've been following this herd, Sione was the weakest, most frightened member of this herd. And the herd has been working with her actively for a couple years now to increase her personal power, to increase her strength, to the point where she can have an effect like you just saw. Is it possible to protect, shield your own energy and not letting the outside world invade your space energy? Yes, it absolutely is. In the apprenticeship program with the herd, we have 2 techniques that the horses teach people. One of them was taught by Montaro, and it's called As Above, So Below. And it's a way of building your energy and pushing it out so that nothing can penetrate your energy field because it's big enough and strong enough. And then we have a kind of opposite technique taught to us by Cobra, and there's a video on YouTube about this, and it's the cloaking technique. So Cobra was like, I don't want to see you, I don't want to feel you, I don't want to know you're even there. Cloak your energy. So it's like an invisibility cloak, and that is on a video on the YouTube channel. And cloaking works really well too. Now, I will tell you, I have been trying to run As Above, So Below, and the oppression in the energetic spiritual realm is so frickin' high and strong right now that I cannot run it if I'm at home meditating. I can't do it. I literally can't run the technique. And I'm fluent in this technique, okay? I have to either come out here with the horses and run the technique, or I have to be walking in a forest, and then I can't be still. I have to walk and do the technique. Like, this is how much oppression at the energetic and spiritual level we are under right now. So again, don't just be looking for what I can do physically. Look at this, look at the trucker convoy, the protests, massive mobilization on a physical level. And where are we now? What happened to that? You know, so I'm not saying don't do that if that's how you feel led. That's definitely a valuable piece, but we're ignoring a huge point of action and impact by not utilizing our energetic and spiritual realities to the full extent of what's possible. So if you're having trouble protecting and cloaking your energy, let nature help you. The wilder the nature, the better. If you can find the old growth trees, they have a lot more power and assistance to give than the young ones. But anywhere, the earth, take your shoes off, go barefoot on the earth. Let your mama support you. Pull from your mama, right? There's a reason Gaia is our mother. She's a living being. She has all the energy we need. She can feed into us, and we can use that to build our energy body. But sit down wearing cotton clothing, you know, synthetics block energy too, right? So anything polyester, plastic, get it off you. Have natural fabrics, or go barefoot, walk upon the earth, pull the energy up from the earth, and keep expanding your own energy field outward. And cleanse. Makaz says, do your physical detox. Flush things out of your system. Your physical toxins have a definite effect on your energy field. You know, that's why with my health business, I formulate health supplements. And these are really crucial to be able to stay spiritually strong and energetically strong. You have to have your physical body on board, because we're in a 3D physical world. So I have atom-sized minerals that absorb instantly through the lining of your mouth. These are all the minerals that used to be present in our soil. They're gone for the most part. Commercial agriculture has destroyed them. I have a new daily multi-nutrient called Multi-Absorb. And instead of taking 20 different capsules, 3/4 of which are fillers and binders and flow agents, you take 1 scoop, and it's just the pure nutrients derived from natural source materials. So we're not synthesizing vitamin C, for example. We're actually fermenting or extracting it from an organic matter. And that's in 1 scoop. And I have a daily essential, and I have an immune booster. So use these tools. Use these tools to increase your physical. Your body's electrical, okay? Your body is between 70 to 80% water. And all of your brain, your synapses, your neural networks, they all work using electricity with water as the conductor. So if we're missing minerals, our physical body can't be strong enough. It can't function the way we need it to function. If we're missing certain key vitamins, you know, the B complex, for example, you're never going to have a good immune system if you don't have the full B complex of vitamins. You know, you probably have heard about quercetin now. It's a bioflavonoid. It's part of the front line of COVID treatment. You have to get some quercetin in there. There's substances like that again, Mother Earth has already provided us. But we have to, if we're not growing our own food in soil that we've composted down from horse manure or something very potent, then we're not getting those nutrients through our food. If you can't grow your own food in your own soil that is filled with worms and a good mycorrhizal network, you're not getting those vitamins and minerals from your food, you got to supplement with them and have as your goal to compost some good quality manure. Or yeah, it's important, isn't it, Sione? Or get it from someone like me. I got lots. You know, get to know farms where you can get some really good quality manure and plant. If you're in the city, just start planting pots on your balcony. Think of it as a super powered super nutrient, because the other thing that happens, again, going back to the energetic and vibrational layer, the plants that you grow yourself to be eaten by you, those plants have an intelligence that knows what's missing from your body. And as long as they can get it from the soil you've planted them in, they will concentrate that nutrient in the specific frequency and vibration that your body needs. This is, I know this may sound fantastical to you, but there is a lot of data on this. Vitamin A grown by a plant in my yard is going to look different at a vibrational level from vitamin A grown by your plant on your balcony, because within frequencies we have subsets, and your subset looks a bit different to what my body needs. So the plant, in its incredible intelligence, will produce exactly what your body needs for you, and will produce exactly what my body needs for me. Where is that wisdom on our planet right now? How many people are even aware that we have that kind of symbiotic relationship with plants? We think that we just, you know, buy from whatever grower. Yes, it's better than factory farming. It's better than commercial agriculture, but growing your own vegetables where the plants can align with your own frequency and provide you with those missing frequencies and vibrations from your system, like, you can't even compare that. So just start. Even if you just get some pots of herbs, you know, don't even, whatever is easy for you. If seeds feel hard, get plants that are already started. Kalia, you're so muddy. Were you lying down in the mud today? Yes, because the mud is a very nourishing part of the earth, isn't it? And it not only nourishes her skin and absorbs through her skin, but it protects her against insects. So she's coated both sides of her face. Because there's been some mosquitoes lately, so maybe she was getting bitten. So she purposely put mud on the thin parts of her face. Okay, I think I'm gonna say goodbye, you guys. The herd says, we love you, we're here for you, sending you support and energy. Don't forget, you can connect to these guys at any time during your own meditation. You're welcome, you guys. Yeah, The Secret Life of Plants, excellent book. When you meditate, imagine a circle around you and then invite them to come into the circle with you. And just notice who will show up. Ah, Daleen, yes. Odie, Daleen says thank you. A very special thank you. She knows who you are, Daleen. Don't worry about that. She's got ya. Hey, Mama. Yeah, she's deep in now. Yes, and here they are, Daleen, lined up, one behind each other. These two have supported so many of us. They are amazing beings. Okay, bye, you guys. Much love.